Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another classic episode of Creepy Old Crypt. I'm going to apologize in advance. The world's most annoying dance party ever is happening behind us.
Yep.
It's Tomorrowland, and what is this song? They play this at every white person's wedding.
I don't know. I can't tell you what song it is.
Yeah. No, like they give you steps to do.
Yeah.
What is that called?
I don't know. They played this at some con we went to as well.
Yeah. Just about every event where white people are dancing, you will hear this song. And but anyway, it's that, and then there's Toy Story characters doing it.
Yeah.
Why is that Tomorrowland? I don't understand why there are Toy Story characters.
I don't know. They brought them out like halfway through this.
Yeah.
They've been dancing with them.
Like they just keep showing up.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Anyway, there's nothing here. It's closed.
Closed off. Sorry.
Anyway, so that's another feature of this show you're going to get is we get to deliver the news to a lot of people that there's nothing.
Nobody was coming over here at all.
No, and then we started standing here, and now people are like, they're like,
coming in. What's going on?
Yeah,
what's going on over here?
This is the closed entrance to the Carousel building.
Yep. Which we talked about in a previous
episode. We already
episode.
talked about it. There's a Star Wars exhibit inside of it.
Yeah.
And it closed hours ago, but people see us and they think, this is a line. Yeah,
let's go check it out.
That's happened like 4 times just setting this up. Anyway, this episode is going to be about Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland in Disneyland here in California is one of the weirdest things because it's kind of the biggest graveyard of dead attractions.
It hasn't had a refresh since like 98 or something like that.
And even that was not a very good refresh, right?
No, it was supposed to be something bigger, and they pulled funding, and it turned out to be something not that great. It
wasn't that great. So anyway, so Tomorrowland has always been kind of like sad here.
Yeah.
And it really blew me away when I went to Florida to Disney World. Their Tomorrowland was full of life, newer stuff and classic stuff.
Yeah.
And this one has kind of neither.
We got dance parties.
Oh, we got the Toy Story dance party.
You're right. Parties.
Yeah, Florida doesn't have that. Actually, it does. There's a stage. It has that. Anyway, but they had the Carousel of Progress. They had the People Mover. All these vintage attractions. Yeah. Plus newer stuff. You know, the Buzz Lightyear and the Stitch, whatever.
Great Escape thing.
But we don't have that. Like all the classic stuff has died. Our People Mover is closed. The People Mover, in case you don't know, is like a vehicle that would take you in and out of all the attractions.
Yeah. Our Carousel building's a gift shop.
Yeah, the Carousel building is a Star Wars store, apparently. What else?
I don't. Half of it's either closed or hasn't been refreshed.
Yeah, we had Rocket to the Moon.
Yep.
And that didn't get turned into another ride. That got turned into a terrible pizza restaurant.
Awful.
It's terrible.
Yeah, pasta's good though. Everybody's like, I don't want to go there. The pizza sucks. Well, have you had the pasta? Oh, I want pizza. Like, no, I haven't had the pasta.
I don't want to go. I don't want to eat that pasta.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't like that pasta. I hate it.
Yep.
So this is an anti-pasta broadcast. Is what we're going to call it.
It's not good. It's like a $7 slice of pizza, and it's not that good.
I think it's $8.
Well, I haven't had it in a while.
But to be fair,
Stand here real quick and show them.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if you guys know here that.
Oh, yeah.
Stand right here. Come here.
I was hearing that.
What is it?
It's reverbs. I can hear an echo in my head right there.
Really? When you were standing there?
Yep.
What, because it's under this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
know if you could hear that. Yeah. Well, apparently we're doing something new because they're standing on the dot right there.
Oh.
And that's exactly where I was standing, and I'm like, it sounds weird right here.
Oh, I didn't notice
And you weren't standing on it.
The only time at a Disney thing that I've noticed any kind of reverb is when you go into the Epcot,
is it the pavilion?
China pavilion?
I think it is. It's a big dome.
Yeah. And you can, if you talk upwards, it's like, it sounds insane.
Yeah. I remember that. That was the same feeling I was getting here. And I didn't know if you were hearing it or not. But apparently that's a thing if people are coming up and talking about it.
Anyway.
I had never heard about that.
I'm stepping back into the spot here.
See, I'm going to step right here. Yeah. Ooh, it sounds weird.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't tell. Oh, you can.
You kind of did?
All right, I get it.
Go.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Enough. We got distracted for a second. Anyway. Yeah, so, where were we? Yeah, so all the classic stuff here has been gone, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So what's left? Okay, so in the 80s, we were the first to get Star Tours.
Yep.
Which that was kind of revolutionary
Was
at the
that
time.
87?
80. Yeah.
I can't remember.
87, I believe.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah, that's close.
We got that in 87. But let's back up. Let's rewind it.
Yeah.
Let's go way back. Way back. So, in the Tomorrowland, I think what's so frustrating is that it was the coolest land. Like, Tomorrowland used to be the most inspiring thing in all of Disneyland.
It was all about the future, like all this cool stuff coming up.
It was 60s futurism.
Yeah.
Like there's still nothing been cooler than that, you know? But it used to be the best. It's an interesting bell curve because actually when Disneyland opened in the 50s, Tomorrowland was not ready. It was like absolutely not finished.
Yeah.
And if you look at like construction reports or photos or whatever from that time, there was stuff that was not even done being built like 3 days before it opened. Like they were working all day and night just to
try
get
to
like,
get
a building
it done. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was barely anything by way of attractions. Okay, so what was here when the park opened? I think there was
wasn't much.
There wasn't much. Like there was no submarines or any of that. They did have. I'm trying to think if the rocket to the moon thing was there. I think it was. I think it was.
I can't remember, but yeah.
But I can't remember. So again, this is not meant to be encyclopedic in any way.
No, not at all.
But they did have a thing called like, God, I can't remember, Art Corner or Art of Disney or Disney Art Corner, something like that. I don't remember. And it was meant to just show like, oh, here's how Disney movies are made. Like here, I guess that was the most futuristic thing they could think of for that spot.
Yeah.
It was over there somewhere. And they just had a lot of people didn't know how cartoons were made, so it's closed. But so they had like cells, animation cells out, and you could just buy them. You could buy animation cells. They just had them hanging
from the
up.
classic movies,
and they sold them for like $1, like $1.50.
Are they worth like a couple bucks now?
Like. They, at that time, did not know the value of stuff like that.
It was just left over, like the movie's done.
Yeah, it's like the movie's done. Why would anyone want these little in-between frames?
Yeah, who cares?
Stuff? So much classic Disney art was sold for $1.50. It's closed. It's closed. But yeah, so anyways, all this art was lost during that time. So that blows my mind. The other thing that I know was here was that they had an exhibit for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yes.
That movie, I don't remember what year that came out.
It was to promote that, right?
Yeah, but they still had all the props and sets from that movie.
Yeah.
And so they just like put it in a big, like, I think it was meant to look like Captain Nemo's lair or something like that.
Okay.
Which is cool because later, years later, when they did
Paris,
or Paris,
Euro Disney,
whatever it was at the time, they did they kind of did a romanticized version of that exhibit.
Yeah.
They built Captain Nemo's lair with all the 20,000 Leagues stuff.
It's really, really cool.
Although what is, I think, even cooler is that the organ, that Captain Nemo's like organ from that movie ended up in our Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
That's in the
the guy, the one that's playing that has all like the ghosts coming out of it and everything is from that movie.
Yeah, so that was cool, I thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, so anyway,
opening day.
Yeah, opening day. I don't think there was.
It was only a few years in that it got like its first like revival, like New Tomorrowland or whatever. It's like
so in '58. Yeah. Like a few years later, that's when it got the Submarines.
Yep.
Do you count? You know, the Matterhorn is kind of in that middle section of Fantasyland or Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's always been Fantasyland. But that opened, I think, the same year. It's like 58.
Okay.
58 or 59. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Yeah.
This is the most unsure recording ever done.
I believe it's 59 because I think they wrote it on a pipe over there.
Yes,
and I think it says TL 59.
You're right. 59.
So,
you're right.
yeah.
It was. Sorry. Anyway. It's closed. Anyway, so yeah, the Submarines came then, and at that time, I think that was the biggest fleet of submarines in any form.
Yeah.
It's closed, yeah.
Yep.
So, they had all these submarines there, biggest fleet in the world, I think. And it's so funny that how the times were different, because I think they were named after, like, real shit.
Yeah, like military stuff.
Yeah, military stuff. And it's so funny they would not do that now.
No.
They would want to not remind you of, like, war, or, you know. But that's how we were just so entrenched in that at that time. But anyway, yeah, so that's what they added then. But it really wasn't until... They didn't really do the new Tomorrowland until, I think, 67.
Yeah.
Something like that. Although we should say, before that, they did add the House of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, right
at
the front
Yeah,
where
the House of
Dixie Hollow is now.
Yeah. Where you can meet Tinkerbell now. Way cooler.
Yeah.
But the House of Tomorrow, I think, was like 1957, 58, something like that.
And that was basically a weird, like, plus-shaped home made out of plastic and everything, like future materials.
Yeah, it was like almost like a pod.
Yeah, it was very, very strange.
It's closed. But yeah, it was meant to be kind of like, this is how houses will be in the future. And it was made almost entirely of plastic.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
At that time, plastic was like, what's this new material?
Yeah, plastic was like, whoa, plastic.
Whoa. What?
And now we're trying to get rid of plastic.
Yeah.
Now it's like
it ruined the world. Like
it's like don't have plastic.
No.
Get rid of plastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that House of Tomorrow, see, just me personally, I'm a sucker for 1960s futurism.
Basically, their view of what the future would be like.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God, that house. When I look at pictures of that, there's so many like good images. Yeah, it's closed. There's so many good images of that house in the inside where it's all just clean and white. It looks like 2001: A Space Odyssey 10 years before that movie came out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. I wish my house would look like that. And it had like, you'd hit a button and the dishes that you cleaned would come out of the counter. Out of the counter.
Yeah.
And
all stuff that's still kind of goofy today, but it had this charm to it.
Yeah. And there was some stuff that came to pass. You know, there was like voice operated stuff, and we got that.
Yep.
You know, they knew Siri before there was Siri. You know, there was all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And I know there were a lot of people. I think a lot of older audiences who maybe didn't like the rides would. They would.
Oh, is it closed?
Yeah, it's closed.
No worries.
Sorry. They would. I think they enjoyed that exhibit.
Yeah.
I remember because my parents were around the perfect age. They were kids around the time that was all open, and they told me like their parents. They didn't want to go on the fast rides, but they would look at the House of Tomorrow. Look at the House of Tomorrow. Is it House of Tomorrow or House of the Future? Now I'm drawing a blank.
I think it's House of the Future. I want to say it's House of the Future.
Yeah, I've said it so many times.
Yeah.
It's closed. But anyway, now that I'm on the spot, I'm like drawing a blank.
I can't tell.
Yeah. I have to like double check now. But anyway, the story that's been repeated in 1,000 different accounts. It's closed. Is that when they eventually tore it down, when they eventually tore the house down, it was meant to be like the whole story of the house is like, oh, it's indestructible. It's you can't, like, nothing can harm this house. It's completely indestructible to any storm or whatever. And then when they tried to tear the house down,
guess what?
The wrecking ball bounced off of the house.
It's plastic, so it takes impact and everything.
Yeah, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
Dude, they've got the Monsters, Inc. characters over there now. Why are all the Pixar people coming to Tomorrowland?
Pixar Fest or whatever is over.
Is over, yeah.
It's like they still are doing it over here for some reason. I don't know. But
it was the House of the Future.
Okay.
House of the Future.
Yeah.
On the spot, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
House of the Future. It was Monsanto that sponsored it.
They sponsored a lot of stuff around here.
It's closed.
Yeah.
Anyway, they sponsored tons of stuff because back then nobody knew if they were evil yet or not. But anyway, after that, whatever. Okay, so New Tomorrowland came in the late '60s.
Yeah.
And then that was when Walt was at the height of his, like, you know, big idea phase. Like, we're going to change the world. We're not just doing rinky-dink Snow White rides. We're doing like future stuff,
transportation, all this stuff.
Exactly. So he put the people mover in throughout Tomorrowland, this thing that would transport people in and out of all the, a little slow-moving vehicle that would, it was almost like public transport that would take you in and out of all the buildings.
Yeah.
And what was crazy is that he was pitching to banks and stuff. He was pitching to them this idea of like future cities. Like he wanted to build a future
to
city.
get funding and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And so he said like all cities, you shouldn't have cars. We should have people mover systems
more
like
efficient.
this. Yeah. And if you want to know how it works, I've already got a model. That was the idea, was that we're going to have a working model of it in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
So that's what it was supposed to be.
It's like a testing ground. Same thing with the monorail. Same thing for the
exactly.
Yeah.
But they brought all that futuristic idea stuff came here. The Carousel building got we got the Carousel of Progress over here, and then we got the people mover. That was when we got what was the other thing?
Is that the I can't remember the where you float around, the flying saucers? Is that the same year?
Flying saucers.
Or was that before?
I'm not sure what year that was.
Yeah, I can't remember because that came and went pretty quick.
There are still people that mourn the loss of the flying saucers. There's still people that are like, I remember when I was young, they had flying saucers, and it was, you would get on this like thing that was on an air cushion.
Yeah, where Captain EO is now. Well, Captain EO isn't there anymore.
Right.
The theater.
Right, it was over there, and from what I understand, it never really worked.
Yeah.
People were either too big for it, and it would weigh it down, and it wouldn't glide anywhere. Yeah. Or they were too skinny, and it would just
it wouldn't move anywhere. It
would kind of like go crazy a little bit. But if you were just the right weight, you could glide around.
Yeah,
you had to be just right.
Well, they tried it again, and it didn't work. So I don't think it could have worked then. Yeah,
so that was their attempt. They tried to bring that kind of ride back.
In like 2010.
Yeah. What year did Cars Land come in?
I think 2010 or 2011.
2011, maybe.
2012.
2012.
Yeah. And
so only 6 years ago they tried it, and it still didn't work.
Today's technology still wasn't
with all today's tech. Yeah, isn't that weird? And but again, for the longest time, you still heard people say like, "Where are the flying saucers? I miss them."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why would people say that and not like they don't say that about other attractions?
Yeah.
And I think it was Tony Baxter, former Imagineer, who said that's like one type of ride that never got a replacement.
Yeah.
Like other stuff filled in for this or that.
This went out, and then they built a newer, kind of better ride. Yeah.
Yeah, the flying saucers never got a follow-up.
No.
Like once they were out, that was it. And again, until 2012, and it still didn't work with the Luigi's flying tires or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was kind of whack. But anyway, at that time, within a couple of years of that, I think a couple of years later, they got Adventures Through Interspace.
Yeah.
And this is after Walt Disney passed away. But they got this ride that was meant to be like you're getting shrunk down and you go into an atom.
Basically, molecular level and go in and through there.
And that to me is like one of my favorite all-time dead attractions.
Yeah.
Like it's not here anymore. It got taken out in the 80s. It got replaced with Star Tours.
Yeah. But
that ride was such surreal 60s like science gobbledygook that I loved it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, you would go. You'd have a voice behind you telling you like you're being shrunk. You're going into a water molecule. Oh, you're going, whatever. But 90% of that ride was just pitch black.
Yeah, it was just some lights and pitch black.
Yeah, they couldn't
like a mirror ball.
Yeah, it was a lot of theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go in here or whatever. Like, they had a little. They had a little effect when you were waiting in line for Interspace.
Yeah.
They had an effect where you'd be in line and you would see people get into the vehicles and go down a tunnel. Mm-hmm. And then they had an effect where they had little figurines of the vehicles.
You basically had a giant version of the microscope.
Yeah.
And you could see little versions going up through the
They were just toys.
Yeah.
But it made it look like people were going into it and being shrunk and coming out shrunk.
It's where the Star Speeder is now in Star Tours.
Yeah.
Basically the same line, like right where that was is where the microscope was.
Yeah, and so it was just a little trick to make it look like people were shrinking.
Yeah.
And I remember someone, I think it was Bob Gurr, told the story about how there was a woman that sat there forever And they were like,
them
"Are
go
you?"
by.
Yeah. And they were like, "Are you okay?" Like a cast member was like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I've been waiting to see my son come out of this for an hour. Where's my son? I don't see him." And they were like, "Oh my God, like, ma'am, these are toys. This is a trick."
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing Hey Ya now.
Oh, good.
Sorry, everybody. Hey Ya
Glad.
break. She was staring at those toys for an hour,
Waiting to see your son.
And it was like, did you think that was real? It's a trick.
Yeah.
But they were mortified because they were like, her son probably got off the ride an hour ago.
Yeah, just walking around.
And she's going, where is he?
We saw those toys, those little
Yeah.
vehicles with the toys in it, the pop-up Disney exhibit.
Yeah, that Disney exhibit that we did.
they had one.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, so basically, so they had that trick. Anyway, you'd go on that ride. They made you think you're going through a molecule or whatever. And when you would get off the ride, it's so funny. This narration of this is magnification. You are, and then it would tell you you're going back to normal size.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it would let you off in an exhibit, and they would be like, "This is the future as it really is."
It was all Monsanto
This
stuff.
is Monsanto,
Yeah.
and it was everything Monsanto made. Like, it was all the plastic and all the chemicals they were using.
Yeah.
And again, we didn't know they were evil yet.
No.
But it was like an exhibit of all these little like windows with like future advancements in it. Look, we can make clothes out of polyester. We can do this. Look at all this futuristic stuff we can do. Anyway, but I am. This is one thing I'm proud to say. I am old enough to have been on that ride.
Yeah.
I was there, and it closed in 87 or 86 or 87, and I was very young.
Yeah.
But I did go on it because I remember one of my first memories of Disneyland was seeing that big eye.
Yeah.
There was a giant eye that would look down at you. They're doing the song again, dude. How many times can they do the song?
Well, there's new people.
Oh my God.
There's more. Yeah, it's Mike Wazowski right now. Dancing.
Anyway, yeah. So I remember that, but you never went on that, right? I don't think you were.
Never.
Well, you could have, but
I could have, but I didn't.
You didn't. But I remember being in pitch black for a long time and seeing that big eye. There was a giant eye. That was really creepy to me.
Yeah.
Again, the ride was called Adventures Through Interspace. A lot of cast members called it Adventures Through Intercourse.
Yeah.
Because it was pitch black for so long that's where people, if they were trying to like, fill in your imagination, but
Theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind, you try to guess what we're talking about, but if you can't figure it out, boning.
Sex.
Oh, don't say it. Oh, now you gave it away. Anyway, so bad stuff would happen on that ride. And what was it, Bob Gurr that was telling a story about the length of the ride?
Somebody asked him how, he was like with his date, like, hey,
and like arm around her,
how long's this ride?
Yeah.
And he told them those way shorter than it actually is.
No, he told them longer.
He
said, "Oh, this ride's like 30 minutes."
Yeah,
and they were like, "Yeah." And they got busy on that ride, and that ride was 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So after 6 minutes, all of a sudden, you're out in broad daylight. Yeah. Everyone's looking at him, and apparently that was bad. I think kids did drugs on that ride too, like back in the '60s.
Oh,
I just don't think there was security stuff like there is now.
No, it was definitely less security back then.
Which is crazy to think. But anyway, so that was the ride. That ride was pitch black for so long comparatively that people did bad stuff. So don't listen and learn from the mistakes of the past, everybody. Don't do bad stuff. Anyway, so that was kind of famous for that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that closed.
I'm very blessed to have barely remembered that ride. But then it closed, and we got in the 80s. We got Star Tours,
which is still here. It's still great. Yeah.
We did a whole episode on Star Tours.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go on about it. But Star Wars to me was classic. If there's something that you could say is classic from 80s Disney, definitely that. I love Star Tours.
Yeah, me
too. And I like the new version too.
The new version's great.
I mean, the old one, it's a classic to me. I have nostalgia for it, but I like the new one a lot.
Yeah, the new update is really nice.
I really do. Anyway, so let's talk about what was on the other side.
Yes, right across.
And this was actually, we should rewind. This was an opening day thing too. There was a Circle Vision over there. And Circle Vision is a thing that Disney kind of coined where they would film in a whole.
The rig would be like multiple reel-to-reel cameras, all like in a giant rig. I think it's like
just a ring
6
of them.
cameras.
I think so.
I can't remember,
Yeah,
and it just films at the same time. And basically, the theater is that it's just one screen all the way around, and each of the projectors points at another side.
Yeah,
and so it's just a ring of whatever you're watching. Yeah.
So yeah, you would stand. I think you would stand in the theater with it
there was
surrounding
leaning bars.
Yeah, leaning bars.
And there were no seats and stuff. You could just lean against these things.
And that's something I love. They still have those movies at Epcot.
Yep.
I love that because that Circle Vision is gone from Disneyland now. It's not there.
No.
But man, at Epcot they have so many of them still. In all the pavilions.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's closed. Anyway, but yeah, I think the one that was here originally was like, I don't think it was America the Beautiful. It was some other.
It was something like
about America.
Like when I saw it, it was America the Beautiful or something like that.
Yeah.
And can't remember what it was.
I think America the Beautiful was in there for a long time. But I'm trying to think what was in there opening day. I don't know what it was.
Don't know either.
But it was something that was a tour of America in some way.
Yeah.
And all I know is the people who saw that original film said it was rough. Like it was boring. So dry. And it was like, oh my god, I gotta go.
This. Then.
But later in the '60s, when it got America the Beautiful, the People Mover I think went through it. Yeah, it went through that building, and you could kind of look over it and stuff. That was kind of cool. And I do remember that.
Yeah. It had a really weird entrance queue. Like it was a room that was really colorful. And it had a lot of like stuff on the walls, like almost like it looked like '70s kind of.
Yeah.
And I remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah. I vaguely remember all that kind of stuff. But more so that I went on the People Mover through.
Yeah.
But anyway, that area, it's not Circle Vision anymore. It is now Buzz Lightyear.
Yep.
The Buzz Lightyear Astro Blaster ride.
That was like, what, late 90s when that opened?
2003.
Oh, 2003. So yeah, it was Circle Vision for all the way. No, it wasn't.
No, it didn't become Rocket Rods.
It became Rocket Rods.
Rocket Rods Cube in '98.
It showed just like they projected same screens and stuff, but they did like diagrams of the Rocket Rods, things like that.
It was kind of,
and you would walk through it.
Yeah, it was kind of story for the Rocket Rod ride. Yeah, sort of.
I forgot it. I was like, what? I was I was blanking on what was in between. But it was
that's a blind spot for me because I did not really go to Disneyland at that era.
The whole new renovation they did in like '98. I did not go once.
The last time I went in '95 when Indiana Jones opened. Yeah. Even though I didn't go on that, I was too scared.
Yep.
But I went during that time, and I didn't go on again until the 2000 something. 2002 maybe. Mm-hmm. So I missed the whole Rocket Rods thing.
Yeah, I did too. By the time I came back here, it was gone.
So you never went on Rocket Rods?
Never.
Wow, because I think Sean has. Really? We talked about it. I was kind of janky.
Yep.
Basically, the People Mover was, it's a slow ride and it goes around this track and it's meant to be
all Tomorrowland.
Really relaxing, And so in the 90s they thought, no, that's boring. Let's make it thrilling. Yeah. And they made it Rocket Rods and they would go fast, but the track was not made for a fast ride.
No, it's not banked for a turn.
Yeah.
So they have to slow down a lot to go around them. Yeah. And it's still too much for the track.
So they would go fast, slow to make the turn, and then fast, then slow.
Yeah. It was awful.
Everyone said
this is actually I don't know if you can see it, but behind us is the entrance. It's basically the loading place for the People Mover and then the Rocket Rods.
Yeah. So So let's back up. The People Mover did load up there first, which breaks my heart to look at that.
Yeah.
It's closed. It breaks my heart to look at that because now that I've gone to Florida, they have that. They have that and it works.
Yep.
And it's like, we really don't have a People Mover here. It breaks my heart.
I know.
But did you go on that? Do you remember going on that?
The People Mover up there? Yeah.
See, my family, we loved the slow, goofy stuff. And so we went on that all the time. So I remember going on the Tron. At one point, there was a Tron Tunnel.
Yeah.
It's closed. They had a tunnel you'd go through, and they projected the worlds of Tron around you.
Yeah. I don't remember much of it at all.
At one point, that tunnel was called Super Speedway.
Yeah.
They just projected all kinds of crazy stuff.
Super Speedway.
In a super tunnel.
You were still going 5 miles an hour, but it was just
it made
all
you. They made you feel like you were going fast. But anyway. But yeah, I love the People Mover. It would go through all this stuff. You'd go through the Carousel of Progress building, and you would be all the way above it. So you would be above the model, Walt Disney's like model of the future. Yeah. They called it Progress City, but it was like it was kind of like his Epcot.
This
project.
one is 2 stories.
Yeah.
So the top story used to be that whole city, and the bottom one was the show.
Yeah. So you would go above that city. Yeah. And how cool it was to look down on that. Now, by the time I went on it, it wasn't that. Yeah. They had already changed this to America Sings.
Yep.
So I don't know what you saw when you went in there.
I can't tell you.
Maybe that's when they made it a tunnel. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the Tron Tunnel was in there.
Yeah. And then it wasn't like
they're playing Ghostbusters in Disneyland.
Oh wait, it's not.
Yep.
I don't get it.
They're playing
closed.
Ghostbusters.
It's closed. Anyway, yeah. So maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because the Super Speedway didn't come in until the 70s. So as far as I know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that covered up what you would have seen of Progress City.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All I know and I remember is that when Star Tours was under construction, that People Mover, when it would go through that area where Interspace was, they put a stormtrooper in there. He was like in the corner, and it said like, "Halt! Where are you going?" It said something. And I remember as a kid that scared the shit out of me.
That's like right at the beginning too.
Yeah,
like,
because Star Wars stuff wasn't so common back then.
Yeah.
So this white trooper in the shadows, that was scary as hell. But anyway, I love the People Mover. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
And you still see the track for it everywhere here.
Yeah, it's still just rotting away.
Yeah. After Rocket Rods, how long was Rocket Rods open? Months?
It was like after a year it was completely closed, and they said it's coming back. Like, we just need to refurbish it.
Yeah,
never
did.
Never opened up again. It was like coming back 2001 or something like that.
Yeah,
and
it never happened.
Never did.
That is so crazy.
Yep.
They had the plug pulled on them.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so it's closed. Yeah, it's closed. But yeah, so what were we gonna say about that?
I was saying right above the People Mover thing is this laser show that's never worked since '98.
Yeah, they added that thing up there.
Yeah, they
right?
turned it on once.
Well, didn't that used to be?
Yeah, it used to be the rocket ships.
Rocket jets or Astro jets or whatever.
Whatever, and it was basically just like Dumbo, but it was all just rocket ships going up and down.
Yeah.
And it was cool because it was so high.
Yeah, look how high up you'd be. Yeah.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
Now they moved it to the front of Tomorrowland, and it's kind of an eyesore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real bummer that it's not doing anything.
I know.
Yeah, it's closed. It's closed. But yeah, I don't understand why they moved it. Like,
I don't know either.
The rocket, what is it called now?
Astrojets?
Astrojets.
Yeah.
Is that what it's?
Astro Orbiter.
Astro Orbiter. That's what they call it now.
Yeah.
The spinning rocket thing.
Yeah.
Now it's at the entrance of Tomorrowland, and I just don't think that's as cool as way up there.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's way higher up here, and they've never used this.
It's closed. Yeah, it's closed.
They never use this. They used to like turn it on; it would spin occasionally.
Yeah,
but that was it.
Yeah, it would do stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
I don't know. There's probably video on YouTube of it working, but was it? Yes.
Yeah. It's closed. But anyway, yeah. So it really bums me out. That is such a blow to Tomorrowland that's not here. And as we said, the Carousel building, it was the Carousel Progress. It got America Sings, which I loved as a kid. This rotating like animatronic show that was all Mark Davis stuff, and then it became Innoventions in the late '90s.
Yeah.
Which was just it was exhibits about future technology.
Did it become Innoventions when they redid everything?
In '98, I think so. Yeah.
That's when it happened.
And then that was a dud.
Yeah.
Closed. And then it became this Star Wars launch bay.
I don't know what it is. It closes.
Sucks.
It closes
I hate
early, and it's just meet and greets, and you can buy Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care. Bulldoze the whole thing. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's super lame.
Yeah.
Anyway, now another thing that used to be here that is no longer was the Skyway.
Yes.
The Skyway was a sky buckets. Like
I just call it the buckets when everybody called it the buckets when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But it's basically it's just a sky, like almost like a ski lift.
Yeah.
But it's just across in buckets.
And it would take you where, to Fantasyland?
Yep. The Fantasyland, that's actually gone now. It's Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
They finally removed the old Skyway station.
That was here until like a year or two ago?
Yep.
I couldn't believe it was still
and
there.
They finally tore it down. This one got torn down years ago.
It's closed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tomorrowland one's been gone forever.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was right up this. It's in this offside area.
Okay.
There's no remnants of it or anything.
No, but it was over there.
It was the spot
by
there,
the train
but
station.
It's all covered up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was by the train. Oh, it's closed. It's closed. Sorry. It's closed.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay. So, yeah, basically, you would take that. Oh, it's closed. Sorry. You would take that to Fantasyland.
Yeah.
You would go. This is something that a lot of engineers, a lot of like architects that worked within Disneyland, they didn't like this idea.
Yeah.
But Walt stuck with it.
And I love it.
Yeah. Walt said, I want to put holes in the Matterhorn mountain. Because I want the Skyway buckets, when they go from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland, I want them to go through the mountain.
Yep.
And all the engineers were like, you've got this awesome mountain ride, this mountain structure.
You want to put holes in it.
Yeah, why do you want to put giant holes through it? And they said, Walt, honestly, that doesn't make sense. And he said, sure it does. And they're like, why? He's like, it's a Swiss mountain. So all you cheese enthusiasts, you got that joke.
Get that.
Everyone else
get it.
didn't get it.
Yeah.
Only the cheeseheads. And we're not talking the Packers. Oh, it's closed. It's closed. Yeah,
sorry about that.
Closed. I think this closed at 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said it's a Swiss mountain. Leave a comment if you got that joke. If you didn't get the joke, leave a comment being honest.
Yeah.
Leave a comment saying, I'm being honest, I don't get it. Anyway, a lot of former Imagineers still don't like that idea. Like, why did he do that? But I think you have to see it from a kid's perspective. Writing that and going through the Matterhorn mountain,
and seeing the Abominable Snowman in there, and
that was magic.
Yeah.
I remember that was like, I was kind of scared to go on the ride. I was a wuss. Like, I was whatever. But it was high up, so I was just like, ugh. But going through that mountain made the whole ride worth it. It was just like, whoa. Yeah. Like, I don't know, as a kid, something like that is magic. So that really, Walt was right on that.
Yeah.
Walt was right.
But they plugged them up when they took the
Yeah, they kind of did, right?
Yep.
Like, is there any remnant of the whole...
No, not really. They did a good job of masking them.
Yeah, I honestly can't picture
once you didn't have the things going through them, you didn't need holes in it anymore.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I mean, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Anyway, but that to me was the best part of the Skyway. Did you like the Skyway?
I love the Skyway, yeah.
And they still kind of have that, right? Don't they have that at the San Diego Zoo? Still has
it's the same system and everything.
Yeah.
Same company that made that, made this one, made that one too.
Yeah. There's always been rumors of why they got rid of it. Like, oh, somebody spit on someone, or somebody
that was
jumped.
me. I spit on someone, got busted with my dad.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I really did that?
I was going through it, and my dad was down below waving, and I was like, in my little kid head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to spit on it. That would be funny.
Yeah.
And I spit, and you could just see his face change to like, hey.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous of getting in trouble once we got off. Like, once we got out the other end, I'm like, I'm in so much trouble. And I think I was. I got to start talking to him, but.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll always remember that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Then that's not what I'm thinking of. I think the rumor was that somebody jumped.
Yeah, somebody got stuck in a tree or something and jumped off. But it was not in the middle. It was like right before it going into one of the stations.
Really?
But that wasn't the reason. They talked about it like there wasn't like a lawsuit where that.
Oh, really?
It was slated anyway to go on like cost-wise, maintenance-wise, and everything.
I think they just didn't.
They didn't want
it. Yeah.
And but everybody kind of goes because that happened. They're like, oh, that was it. They got sued and they had to take it out. No, it's
that was already happening.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit heartbreaking because all of these things really added to the kinetic energy of Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Like Tomorrowland, the Walt knew that the future of the world was kinetic. It was transportation. It was. So you would go to Tomorrowland and you'd have the monorail going like that, and you'd have the people mover going in and out of that, and then you'd have the Skyway going across like that, and then you'd have the submarine. Did I already say the submarine? Whatever. It was such everything was in motion. It was really incredible.
Yeah.
And it's so heartbreaking. It's not like that now.
Nothing moves here.
No.
The circle,
Oh, that's right. The building would turn too.
That doesn't turn.
Yeah,
that doesn't
closed.
move.
Yeah, it's closed.
The people mover doesn't move.
Yeah.
There's nothing moving around here anymore.
Yeah.
Except the people.
And they don't. The people move, but they don't have a people mover.
Yeah.
I don't get no respect at all.
It's kind of like just a shell of what
I had to. When I was young, I was so ugly. I had to trick or treat over the phone. Anyway, yeah. So it's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Now the submarines are still here.
Yep. Those got saved.
But like management wanted to close it.
Yep.
And everything in Tomorrowland was so expensive, which. What does Disney not have the money? But
I know.
A lot of it came out of again, we always bring this up. Euro Disney failed so bad,
and the budgets for everything got cut everywhere.
So they were like, dude, the submarines cost so much to run. Let's close them. So they did in Florida. Yeah. They got closed and bulldozed immediately. Here they got closed in the late 90s.
Yeah, and they sat.
Yeah, and everyone behind the scenes fought over the future of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe you already know about this, but there were Imagineers that were it was a big battle against upper management. And at one point, people in Imagineers, or the people at Imagineering, they came up with a plan to I think, what movie just came out? The Atlantis? What is it?
Yes, the Atlantis.
Journey to Atlantis? Is that what it's called?
They put up a sign, didn't they?
Yeah, they had an idea to put an Atlantis ride in there. It's closed.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
It's closed. But they wanted that
like new property.
Management was pissed.
Hadn't come out yet.
So they just put up a banner without even getting permission. They put up a banner that Journey to Atlantis coming soon.
Yeah.
And people there wasn't much internet back then.
Yeah.
Internet was around, but it wasn't that big.
It wasn't widespread.
But even then, I remember on news groups, people were posting dude, did you see this banner? Yeah. Oh my God, they're going to Atlantis ride. I remember that.
And then the movie came out.
and so it went.
Yep.
But yeah, the ride never happened. Nope. And it just continued to sit and sit and sit.
Till 2007, right?
2007.
That's when this opened up.
And that was how they got it back open. I think it was Tony Baxter argued with them and just said he thought the way to get it back open to appeal to upper management was, hey, what if we tied it into a modern IP?
Yeah, he has saved so much stuff in the parks
by doing that. Like they were going to bulldoze the treehouse, the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse, and he was like, no, make it Tarzan, make it the Tarzan.
That's the new thing right now. And they're like,
yeah, and they were like, okay, and that's how he saved it.
Yeah.
Likewise, that's what happened with the submarines. They said, okay, well, if we made it Finding Nemo, what about that? And they were like, yeah, that's a successful IP.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what happened. They reopened the submarines, but now it's all Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
What's your take on that ride?
I like it. It's just nice and calming, and I still love the idea of pretending to be underwater, using the bubbles and diving and still looking through a porthole into actual water.
Yeah. So the thing with that ride, it's closed. The thing with that ride is you are underwater, but you're not.
No.
They make it seem like your sub is submerging.
The top is never, but you are.
You are. When you're sitting in there, the water is past you. You're below it. Exactly. There still isn't another ride like that.
Yeah.
Where you are in a submarine. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people I know that hate that ride.
Really?
Yeah, because it's so long. I think it's the longest ride.
It is really long.
It's 16 or 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And now that it's Finding Nemo, a lot of it is projection. And I think a lot of people are turned off by that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like Pixar characters, But, to me, there's more to it than that. Mm-hmm. I like it because a lot of that original submarine ride is still kind of with it, you know, just in terms of what you're doing, you're in the original subs. Mm-hmm. I love the trip through the lagoon because that's not even barely that's still almost like how it was.
Yeah, there's no CG or anything in there. It's all physical animatronics,
and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and it still is that. To me, the rides that work the best are experiences.
Yeah,
they're not just a book report. They're not just a story. They're an experience. And there's still an experience there. You know what I mean? So I love going through that lagoon. To me, is like as good as any Disneyland ride. Now, once you go past the lagoon and you go through the waterfall, then it's all Finding Nemo stuff. I could take or leave that. I mean, it's not like I love the Nemo stuff. But again, the ride is still an experience that's unlike other rides. So for that, I have to recommend it. I still recommend it.
It's a ride system that you can't find anywhere else. And it's still here.
So I can't knock it. I really can't. Again, the Nemo stuff, take it or leave it. If they got rid of all that and did a different theme, wouldn't care. But I still overall approve of it. That being said, I wouldn't wait like hours for that ride. But if there's no wait, it's great. I like going on it. So it is what it is. Anyway, now the other 80s thing that the park got. Now, Star Tours, we already talked about that. Love Star Tours. The other thing that it got in the 80s that to me is like an all-time Tomorrowland staple. Captain EO. 3D movie with Michael Jackson.
It's classic.
I wonder if we could almost do an episode just on Captain EO.
We might be able to. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff with that.
Maybe we should. So we won't go into that too much. But it was a 3D movie about Captain EO. Or about Michael Jackson as this character, Captain EO. Which also scared me as a kid.
When I watched as a kid, I loved it.
I grew to love it.
I was super into Michael Jackson at that age, so I was like, awesome, Michael Jackson.
And it went away when all the allegations came out. It faded away. And then after he died, they brought it back. They did it as a tribute. And that was the best thing they ever did. Because it was such an energy that wasn't here. But in the meantime, in between time, they had an attraction, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. I don't think I ever went on that.
Really?
Did you go on that?
A couple times.
Okay, so what was that like?
It was super cheesy. It's just...
It was based on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But what happened?
Essentially, you're at the Institute to watch a demonstration of Zelensky's new thing, and you end up getting basically shrunk. And that's when they added the movable platform. Basically, all the seats are on a platform.
Oh, the seats would like move?
When they brought Captain EO back, you notice like it would like bounce to the music and things, and had spray stuff. That was all added for Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Oh, so that stuff wasn't in the EO?
No, not at all.
EO, I remember there being lasers.
That never came back for the tribute.
Yeah,
they never came back. But they retrofitted the effects of Honey, I Shrunk the Audience for Captain EO later. That was never a part. It was just seats. They weren't any special seats or anything.
So once they brought Captain EO back, the floor would move with the bass. So the music would be like, and it was almost like, I'm not saying I didn't like that.
No, but it was
almost inappropriate. I just felt like everyone was bouncing weird, and it was just like, what is this?
They added that effect basically because in Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, they pick you up. They pick up the whole audience and do this. And while you do that, you're kind of shaking around.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And a dog sneezes at you, and that's when you get sprayed. Now, there's an effect I know it's probably still there, but they didn't use for Captain EO. At one point in Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, a bunch of mice get let out into the crowd, and they probably have some string whip around a little bit, and it kind of hits your feet with a little string like its tails. And they never did with anything with that. That's probably still all there.
Yeah, what could they do with that in Captain EO?
Exactly. But yeah, that was another effect that they had for that. And it was cheesy and lame, and it never really was that packed. But it was such a breath of fresh air when Captain EO came.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Still.
Yeah, I think Honey, I Shrunk the Audience overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, it was there for a long time.
But it's funny because now that theater, they closed Captain EO.
Yeah.
Now they don't put anything in there.
It was a Star Wars thing because they closed it right when like Star Wars was starting to come back. They bought it and they're announcing new movies and stuff, so they put a Star Wars thing in there, and that was a couple years.
And then it was just movie previews.
Yeah.
And it was so boring.
Yep. I have not set foot in there since it was Captain EO.
Okay, so I'm gonna say one thing. The one thing they did that was cool, they put those movie previews in there, and they all suck.
Yeah.
But when the movie Tomorrowland came out, they made it like a World's Fair 1964 exhibit.
Oh, cool.
And you would go in there, and there was art from the World's Fair, and then you would go in and see a preview of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't need the preview of the movie. I was going to see the movie anyway. But the experience was cool.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. The Star Wars thing they put in there was boring. It was just a recap of all the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. And now it's Pixar shorts.
Yep.
Because for some Pixar Fest that's still going on. Sorry, it's closed.
Yeah, it's closed. The Pixar shorts are on DVD and Netflix.
Yeah.
Why would you go see that here?
I know. You're at Disneyland.
You paid so much money to get here.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what's going on in that theater. You know, one thing we haven't talked about at all that could also be its own show is Space Mountain.
Yes.
Space Mountain was a giant indoor roller coaster.
Yeah, it was top of the line when it came out. Like
top of the line.
Yeah.
Indoor dark roller coaster. Yep. And a lot of people don't realize that was a kind of a Walt Disney signed off concept. Like Walt Disney kind of knew about that before he died, even though it didn't. I think it came to Disney World in like 75 or something. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think it was 74, 75, something like that. But that was a Walt Disney like idea.
Yeah.
It just never happened until then.
The one in Disney World is actually still the original one. They never redid it. They redid this one in like 2005, but they never redid the Disney World one.
And when they redid it here, so we got ours a couple years later, I think 77.
Yep.
And when we got ours, it was kind of the same ride, not as big.
It wasn't as big, but I think that they ramped up the technology a little bit. I think each iteration is better than the last, just in terms of technology and.
But doesn't the one in Florida have 2 tracks?
It does.
It's so big that you could go over there or over there.
Yep.
Ours did not have
2 different tracks, just one.
But when we got ours upgraded, they added a sound system, right?
To the actual in the seats and everything. And they ripped out all of the track and rebuilt it.
Yeah,
it's a different
so it's a
ride.
lot smoother here.
Super.
And we have
smooth.
a sound system.
Yeah.
Florida does not have that.
Yeah.
But Space Mountain, I kind of feel like could be its own episode.
Can.
Don't you think?
It can.
So we don't need to go into that too much, I guess.
No.
But anyway, but still, they added that, and then in the 80s, kind of built around it. They put that EO Theater over there and all that stuff.
There used to be a lot of, what were they called? Not people movers, but speed ramps.
Yeah.
They were all over the place here.
Yeah, speed ramps, that you walk on the big conveyor belt.
It was like the things you see in the airport. But they were ramps up to rides and everything like that.
I love a good speed ramp.
Yep.
And now we have none. There's one speed ramp left in all of Disneyland at the end of Haunted Mansion. That's it.
To get out of the ride, you go on a speed ramp.
But when you go to Florida, they still got speed ramps everywhere. You go up a speed ramp here, a speed ramp to the
There used to be a speed ramp to Space Mountain, and there's just like basically a spot where it just ends, and they put a sign like.
Yeah. No more speed ramps here.
No.
But we should talk. Speaking of speed ramps. There's always been a store over here.
Yeah.
Now it's called Star Trader, but it's been other stuff I think. But it's at that corner, and in the '80s they built an arcade component to it called Starcade.
Yep.
And I didn't really come to Disneyland for arcade games necessarily when I was younger, but I always ended up playing. They had like an old Neo Geo machine in there. They had all kinds of stuff, and it was a really cool, like futuristic arcade. And it was 2 stories.
Yep.
And then in like the late 90s, right?
Yeah.
They closed the top floor.
Just nothing.
They were like, no, there's nothing there anymore. And they blocked off the speed ramp and everything.
Yeah.
And no one ever went to the top floor. And even years later, not that many years ago, they ripped out the speed ramp. So it's like, wow, there is no way to reach that top floor.
Nope.
And if you look, there's still like there's a mural, like a speed.
Yeah.
I want to say, I could be wrong, that it's like, no, sorry, it's closed.
Sorry, it's closed. Sorry.
I want to say it's like Robert McCall artwork or something. I could be way wrong on that. Probably am. But you could still see all that artwork up there, and it's like, dude, there's a whole second story. No one's ever been.
Yeah.
No one has been in years and years and years. It had been like 17 years, 18 maybe years, and no one been up to that top floor. Well, just in the last few months, they opened it up to where now you can wait for Space Mountain indoors. Because it used to be, they would make you line up on this platform up there.
Out in the sun.
You would roast in the sun.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, just go in the top floor of the Starcade and wait. There's a whole queue in there.
Yeah.
And they play like the old 70s like noises and stuff from the ride in there. and it's got that same artwork from the 80s or whenever it went up. I love it.
And they still have,
cool.
you can still see the windows.
Yeah.
They're all blocked off, and they have like vignettes in them or whatever. It's
Yeah.
constellations and things
Yeah.
in it. But those are the windows you used to be able to go see through that the People Mover went by.
Yeah, the people.
And you could look into the
there.
top floor of the Starcade.
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
And now the bottom level of the Starcade is basically just for events. It used to,
they don't do anything
Like
in
it's now it's just carpet because it's just empty floor. There's nothing in there. And I remember we went in there like a couple years ago for some annual pass holder event.
Yeah, they had an AP
and
event.
They still had some. They basically set up some arcade machines. And everything.
They did.
And in the corner was this weird like part of a wall that had like a grate around it.
Yeah.
And that was left over. I think that's where you could go get quarters. You go up and there'd be a cast member in there. And you give them your buck and they give you 4 quarters or as many quarters as you need.
Yeah.
And to go play the machines and everything.
Yeah.
There was a machine that I cannot find any photos of or any remnants of the one machine I remember as a kid.
Oh, it's close.
In
Sorry.
that. And I vividly remember this. It was like a robot or an alien or something.
Yeah.
I just remember it looked robotic. And it would insult you. And I remember it said, "Put your money where your mouth is," at me at one point.
Okay.
And I believe it was a quick draw thing. It was like you'd see it, you put your quarter in, and then you would pull the gun out and shoot. And that's all I remember from it. I never played it.
I don't remember that
but
at
I'm
all.
trying. It was gigantic, but I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it could be not.
I
as
wonder if
gigantic.
anybody out here remembers that. If you're watching this and you remember,
I've
let us
looked
know.
for like images of it or anything, but it was like I want to say it was a quick draw game, and it was like an animatronic. He didn't move much. I don't know if at all, but I think he had pinpoints on him to shoot. I can't remember.
Okay.
But I remember he insulted you when, like, just before you even put money in.
Yeah.
He was just to kind of get you to come over to the machine.
Yeah.
He would do that.
Okay. Well, what I thought you were going to say was
Yeah.
when they did that AP event a few years ago,
Yeah.
again, they opened up that Starcade area,
Yeah.
and you could actually get Starcade, like, tokens
from the
out of the
machine.
machine. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I never got any.
I didn't either.
I forgot, and
Yeah.
then I never went back.
Yeah.
But I think they're still on eBay.
Oh, really?
I think they're pretty cheap,
Okay.
so I might just get.
Yeah,
get them there.
because again, you just put in a buck and you get a bunch of
Yeah.
tokens and everything.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that was Starcade. Was there anything else in Tomorrowland?
There's the Tomorrowland Terrace.
Yeah.
I don't know what's like. It's basically open air like stage for events and things like that. They were
Yeah.
just doing a dance party's over finally.
Yeah, they have a stage on there, and a lot of times they have bands play.
Yeah, it lifts up out of the ground.
It rises out of the ground,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's funny, the artwork, the design of that bridge. There's a lot of like Star Wars stuff on it right now because
Yeah.
they do that Jedi show.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you hear about that? It's done,
Oh, really?
or it's going to end like any day now.
I'm sure they're going to replace it with something else.
Well, I think whatever is there is going to Star Wars Land.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they got to do it there.
Yeah, so I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the stuff, when the Star Wars stuff is not there, the design of that stage is so, if you know about Raleigh Crump and his artwork,
Yeah.
it is so Raleigh Crump, it's
Yep.
ridiculous. Like, he was really in charge of a lot of the look of the new Tomorrowland, and so it's looked like that since the 60s.
Yeah.
So I've always loved the look of that
Yeah.
stage. I really did.
It looks really, really cool.
But anyway, Tomorrowland Terrace, I have to be honest, like, there's food stuff I love in every land.
Yeah.
But Tomorrowland has never been a great place for food.
Only good
It's
food is
tourist food.
when they did that nighttime stuff. That was the only
Yeah,
good
they had
stuff.
a late night menu.
Yeah, they had a late night menu
I
that
wonder
changed.
if they have it again.
I don't know, but
We're about to find out after
That
this.
was the only thing worth eating there.
Yeah.
It was always dry burgers and all this stuff.
Tomorrowland, I think they've always reserved the food for, like, tourists.
Yeah.
Like, hey, tourists, they go to Tomorrowland, so let's have a burger,
Because
the basic stuff.
There's some great food here.
Yeah.
But this has always been like, that's where you go for the burgers and fries.
Yeah,
and,
it's boring.
boring food.
But the late night menu was, like, burgers that were different, like
sliders.
Yeah,
that
they were like sliders.
Yeah.
They had like some kind of chicken quesadilla thing.
Yeah.
Chicken and waffles. They
Yep.
had all kinds of stuff. It was actually like good. But they don't always have it. I do
No.
want to check out.
Yes.
But I never like eating here. The pizza place that replaced Mission to Mars. And in case you never, or I'm sorry, it was Rocket to the Moon. It was
Yeah.
Journey to the Moon.
The Rocket's
whatever.
still here.
Yeah, the Rocket is
Yeah,
here.
and that hasn't moved.
it later became Mission to Mars, but the concept was the same.
Yeah.
It was a ride over here that everyone sat, and I do remember going on this.
You would all stare at something in the middle.
Yeah, everyone would sit in a
Screen in the
circle,
middle.
and there was a screen in the middle and a screen above you.
Yeah.
And it would be like you're rocketing away from the Earth.
Yep.
They would do all kinds of tricks on you to make you feel like you were going.
Yeah.
There was an air cushion in the seat, and so when you would lift up, they would like inflate the cushion, so it was like you were going like that, and then it would come down. You know.
Yeah.
It was a pretty effective. When I was a kid, that blew me away. But I don't remember which version of the ride I went on. It might have been the Mars one.
The Moon one was. I don't know when the Moon one left and the Mars one came in.
I don't remember.
I don't know either.
But that was really that. You know, that ride, you know, maybe it was a little hokey by today's standards, but it still was that experience of tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to space. It's something that we need here now. And again, it got replaced with a pizza restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
We haven't even made it to Mars yet. Like, we can still
put
have the
that
Mars
back.
thing. They probably put the Moon thing in, and we made it to the Moon. Okay, what do we do?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It
Let's
really
put it in Mars.
Yeah, they really just got like caught up. Like we caught up, you know.
Yeah.
I heard there's very rare footage out there of everybody going to see the moon landing and watching it in Tomorrowland.
I have seen photos of that.
How awesome would that have been? Oh my God, I would have killed to have been there.
Yeah.
If only I was born in the wrong generation. Anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else.
I can't.
Oh, Autopia.
Yes.
That you want to talk about? Duh. And this whole show we're trying to think of what was here opening day.
Yeah. Autopia.
The one attraction that has been here and never left is the Autopia, where you drive a car.
Yeah.
That's still here.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of like adult people.
Yeah.
That's all. I just wanted to let everyone know. I know a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know a lot of adults that are like, ugh, Autopia. Ugh. Get rid of Autopia. It's so boring. What, you drive a car? But man, I think that is a quintessential child experience.
It gives kids a chance to drive a car. When are you going to get that?
A kid wants to drive a car.
Yeah.
That is the most basic childhood
and here, they can do it
thing.
Here.
You can get in a car and drive.
Yeah.
That you have to keep that.
Yeah.
I really don't think they can get rid of that.
Yeah.
That
As an adult, it's not the most exciting thing in the
No.
world because you drive every day. But for a kid, that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't go on that. You know, nowadays I don't go on it that often.
If they put something new or something like that, I'll go check it out.
Really, mainly when I go on it now is when we are here with a big group.
Yeah.
If it's just me and you know, or just me,
yeah,
I don't need to go in a car. But man, when you got a big group, it's fun. Everyone's yelling at each other, trying to catch up to each other. It's cool, you know. I really enjoy it. Yeah, so it's really kind of a quintessential experience. You can't get rid of it. There were rumors for a long time. They were going to get rid of it or pare it down.
Yeah.
Because it takes up. People showed like on the map of Disneyland how big it is.
It's as big as a land. Like, if you look at other lands,
it's like 20% of the land.
It's
Closed.
insane.
Is it closed?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's you can look on like Google Maps and stuff at a top down, and you can see Autopia, and other lands around the park, and it's like, oh, they're like equal size.
Yeah.
Like they spent so much land for one ride.
And a lot of and it's all, the thing that sucks is Tomorrowland is all kind of
it's intertwined with everything.
because the submarines go under it.
Yep. It's built over the submarines, and you can't really scrape that off and bulldoze it because you have to take the submarines with it. And
if one goes, they all fall.
Yep.
It's dominoes.
Yep.
Great example, dominoes. Anyway, but so it's hard to like. What do you do?
I don't know. Yeah.
But there were rumors for a long time. Oh, it's closed.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
And it's like the people mover track. If you rip it down, there's like it's so intertwined with all the rides.
With everything else.
Yeah.
It
goes into every
So that's
building.
why the track has not been ripped down.
Yeah.
After all these years, it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland was designed to be in and out of each other.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Like, you can't really remove much.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a graveyard.
Yeah.
Like
I
said.
bet you that's probably why it's been so long since they've refreshed it.
Yeah.
But I bet you after Star Wars is done and that's all built and everything.
Right.
I have a feeling they're going to refresh. This one is the land that needs to refresh the most out of everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what the rumor was for so long, speaking of Star Wars, there were rumors for a long time that they were going to, once Disney bought Star Wars, they were just going to Star Warsify Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland was just going to be the Star Wars park. And, you know, man, I like Star Wars, you know, but that was not appropriate. Like, you know, I don't mind Star Tours because they tie it in. They make it, oh, you're in a travel agency. You're a, you know. But Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It's not the future.
And that's what is so messed up is right now, literally across from us on the wall, it says a long time ago in a galaxy far. We're in Tomorrowland. Like, so, but there were rumors forever that the whole area where Autopia is, it's forested.
Yeah.
And they were going to do like a speeder bike, like Endor speeder bike ride. And this carousel building was going to be the queue to take you out into that ride, but it just, you know, I'm sure that ride would be cool, but it wasn't appropriate. And then from what I understand, I think Bob Iger really stepped in on that. They were almost ready to go. They closed the Submarines for a while.
Yeah.
And there were rumors, oh, that's it. It's not going to open back up. They're just, without notice, they're going to rip it out.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, that was legit. Because it opened back up and people were like, see, they weren't going to close it.
Yeah.
But I think they were, and they stepped back.
Yeah.
From what I had heard, Bob Iger was like, you know, we got these new Star Wars movies coming out. Let's not do a bunch of rides based on the old ones. Let's wait for the new ones to come out.
Yeah.
And then we can incorporate all of it. So, so it was kind of like, don't touch Tomorrowland. Let's think of something else. And eventually they came up with what they did. They bulldozed a bunch of other land to make room.
And it's a lot of behind the, like the stuff for Star Wars land doesn't really encroach a lot into actual Disneyland.
Not really. A little bit into the river and the ranch.
Yeah. And that's about it. But the rest is behind the scenes stuff.
That's really it.
Yeah. So I'm glad they didn't do that. Well, they kind of did.
Yeah.
Because they it's Star Tours and the Star Traders all Star Wars stuff, and then they turned Space Mountain to Star Wars, and then for a little bit, temporary. Yeah. And then this turned into Star Wars and the Jedi Academy. So they kind of just did everything Star Wars.
But I think it was just to meet public demand.
Yeah.
Like people were thirsty for Star Wars.
They kept acting like this was Star Wars land in the commercials, like come see the land of the Star, like
see Star Wars. Yeah. Star Wars exists
and it's
at Disneyland.
It's like, no, it's not ready yet.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't at all. But it will, and that land, I'm sure, will be cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
But Tomorrowland should be something else.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but it needs it so bad.
It needs a whole refresh.
More than anything in the parks. So we'll see what happens. To be continued. But really, it's so sad. Like I said, when I went to I've always been a Disneyland loyalist. Like, hey, Disney World, sorry. Disneyland's the best. But man, when I went to Florida, their Tomorrowland blows this away. Yeah. It's so sad that it does. The People Mover, the Carousel of Progress, they have Space Mountain, they have Buzz Lightyear, they have all this stuff. And it's just so alive compared to here, you know. It really makes me sad. Yeah. But anyway.
It's a real bummer.
But we still got the Submarines and they don't, so, you know, things happen.
That survived.
Anyway, is there anything else about Tomorrowland?
What am I think of?
They have my favorite train station.
Oh yeah, it's usually empty. Yeah,
it's a little more dead in this train station, way back in the corner. But if you get on it, it's the one that takes you right to Main Street. Yep. And you go through my favorite area in the park, personally, the Grand Canyon diorama. Yeah. And Primeval World. Yep. I love those.
Yeah, which they just refreshed just recently.
Yeah, it looks it's same old stuff,
spruced up,
but just looks
lighting
better
and
brighter, and it sounds better.
Yep.
Everything is great. I'm so happy. I love that area. Yeah. So I like to get on that train station and go around. Yeah. Anyway, but other than that, that's kind of it, right? Yeah. I mean, that I can think of. We'll cover other stuff. Totally. On other shows, we'll go more into EO and Space Mountain.
Yeah, those are the two biggest things here.
What's your favorite land at Disneyland?
New Orleans Square.
That's your favorite land?
Yeah. I guess I
might agree.
That has two of the best rides in there.
Yeah. Yeah, Frontierland or New Orleans Square, definitely. But it's so sad. Like, a lot of people used to say Tomorrowland, and now I don't know anyone that says that. No. So, yeah, Tomorrowland, you hurt, man. Oh, the monorail's still going. Yep. If you, the monorail station is right over here,
Yeah.
and if you take it, it takes you right into downtown Disney, the shopping area. And then you could take it right back if you show them your ticket or whatever. You take the monorail, and it actually, instead of, if you don't want to go through the front entrance of Disneyland, you could take the monorail, and it drops you off in the thick of Tomorrowland.
Okay.
And if you've never done it, taking the monorail out, that's cool, whatever. It's fast, fine, but it's not anything. But the monorail going into the park,
Yeah.
they take the scenic route. Hopefully I don't have to hear that thing again. They take the scenic route on the way in.
Yeah.
If you don't go to Disneyland that much, or you've never been on the monorail, do it.
Yeah.
Take the monorail into the park, because the scenic route, it's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it goes through just around the Matterhorn, and it's just such a great, like I said, experience. It's all about experience. And it just lets you see every angle of this incredible thing that was built so long ago. You know, like, I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
That's just me. Anything else? I don't know.
Not that I can think of, no.
I'll say this. This is an addendum
Yeah.
to
Last episode?
last episode about Knott's Berry Farm. We didn't talk about Sad-Eyed Joe.
Yeah, we didn't.
Knott's Berry Farm, since like the 40s, had a guy.
In a
it's
jail.
a wooden
Yeah.
mannequin of a man locked in a jail in Ghost Town, and they have someone 20 feet away from you watching you, talking through a microphone
Yeah.
to make it look like the prisoner talks to you.
Yeah.
So you'd walk up to the booth and he'd go, "Hey, how are you all doing?" And you'd be like, "Good." "Hey, I see. You with the glasses? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And it's someone that could see you from
Yeah.
far away. But it's still there.
It's the
after
same, and I think it's the
80
same
years.
Sad-Eyed Joe that's been there since they, like,
I
as soon
think
as they
it
made
is.
it. Yeah.
Since the 40s.
Yeah.
Dude, they put that in there in like 40 or 41.
Yeah.
Just think, when they put that in there, no one knew there would be a World War II.
Yep.
No one knew there would be a second World War.
It wasn't even World War I yet. It was
I mean, they weren't even
Yeah.
thinking about. I mean, let's not
Yeah.
even start there.
I know.
There wasn't even the next one. Like, anyway,
This is a great war.
couldn't believe it. Anyway, but it's still there, and it's so awkward, but I love going up to that thing and going, "You're still in here?"
Yeah.
"Yeah, they won't let me out. I've been asking for 70 years. Did you see footage of it during Not Scary Farm?
No.
They put a werewolf mask on him, and he was like cursing.
Really?
Dude, people were walking up, and he was like, "Yeah, they won't even let me out to take a shit." I mean, it was like, I did not know Knott's would let them get away with that.
I think they get away with they can get away with blood and gore.
Yeah.
So why not some piss words?
Yeah. So that was pretty good. Anyway, look that up, a video of that
Yeah.
on YouTube or wherever.
Yeah.
Twitter. Somebody posted a video. It was like Sad-Eyed Joe's in rare form tonight.
Yeah.
And it was that. So that was really good. Anyway, I think that's it.
I think that's it too.
Tomorrowland, a very sad place to be. Hopefully it will be better. I don't know what they're going to do.
No.
What can they do?
They're fix it up, remove stuff that's dead, and put new stuff in it.
Well, here's hoping.
Yep.
Everything's dystopian now, too. Like, because people were saying, like, what futuristic stuff could they add? Oh, Wall-E.
Yeah.
But even Wall-E, it's like the future's covered in trash. You know, it's just like, man.
Yeah. I don't. Nah. Future stuff.
They got
Tomorrow.
it. I think the only way they can go forward is doing like retro futurism.
Yep.
Like go vintage, go like 60s futurism,
Yeah.
you know. And maybe that will do the trick. But
That's what they did in Paris.
Yeah.
They go, we're not gonna we don't want this to get outdated, so we're just gonna do Jules Verne stuff.
yeah, the Jules Verne thing
Yeah.
worked. They tried kind of in '98 here.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
No.
All they did was paint everything gold
Yeah.
and brown, and it sucked.
Yep.
But I think that's their only way. Real quick, the movie Tomorrowland. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought that was a good movie. And it's kind of about that. Where did that optimism go? I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie. The movie is kind of like 5 opening acts in a row, but I still really like it. It's still like an optimistic, like cute story about that old futurism. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I dug it.
It was good. I liked it. And I liked all the World's Fair stuff in it
Yeah.
and things like that.
Anyway, I think that does it.
Yeah.
I guess now we'll go on the Carousel of Progress. Oh, it's
No, that's
closed.
gone. We can
it closed?
yeah, we can hit up the People Mover if you want.
Oh, that's closed.
No. Shit.
Is this open? No, it's closed.
Starcade.
closed?
No, Starcade is gone. Let's see.
Maybe this is open.
We got.
Is it closed?
I think pizzas are only bet.
All right, we'll get pizza.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm talking right here. Wait.
Now you gotta stand on the dot.
I'm talking right here. I'm talking right here. I'm talking right here. That's not that weird.
It's not weird.
No, it's not that weird.
It's a little weird.
It's
Sounds
a little
weird
weird
to me.
If I'm talking right here, and I'm talking right here, oh, it's closed. It's closed.
Yeah.
It's closed. It's closed. It's closed. It's closed. It's closed. It's not open anymore.